Hello, everybody. My name is Chandlar Strauss, and I am the co-founder of Hemptress. Today, I have Dr. Aruna, who is our Chief Medical Officer, and she is a holistic psychiatrist and a holistic medicine doctor with additional training in functional medicine and Ayurveda. Today, we are going to do a deep dive on petrochemicals in cosmetics. Dr. Aruna, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Chandlar. I'm excited to be talking about this.
Us too. This is a topic that is close to my heart and provides me a lot of frustration as an insider in the industry, as somebody that's formulated products and traveled to Europe and worked with the best formulators and seen the best ingredients. And unfortunately, a lot of times they are coupled with the petrochemicals that we're going to talk about. So, Dr. Aruna, I was hoping that you could tell us, what are petrochemicals? How are they made?
So for that, we need to get to we need to talk about the origin story. So how is gasoline made and where does it come from? It comes from crude oil that is extracted from the ground. Now, this crude oil contains gasoline, which is what we use to run our cars and, different kinds of equipment and factories and all of that. So that when that gasoline is then extracted from the crude oil and everything else that is remaining, which is kind of that dark slushy thing that we see, that is actually the petrochemical. So, rather than just, I don't know what these factories could have done with those, with the extract from the crude oil, the one that we don't use to burn for fuel. All of that is actually from where the petrochemicals are derived from. And these petrochemicals are then used for in so many industries. It's used in the clothing industry, it's used in the cosmetics industry, it's used in the food industry, pharmaceuticals, yes, all of those artificial dyes in that color and coat your capsules, your tablets, they all come from this. I mean, artificial dyes sadly are used in food. M&Ms come to mind, and wherever you see this candy that's coated, Sour Patches, all of them.
And in the actual medicine, propylene glycol is found in tons of pharmaceutical products that we're taking.
Yeah, I think they should all come with the disclaimer: it's flammable.
Yeah, exactly.
And no wonder when it is flammable, no wonder they cause inflammation.
Yes, exactly. It's very simple when we break it down like that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to emphasize that petrochemicals are a byproduct of the gasoline industry.
Yes.
So that is where we lose the connection. We are going to talk about three main ingredients that are in most cosmetic products. And I'm going to challenge the listeners to actually go through their products and look for these three ingredients. We have propylene glycol. Propylene hints right at where it comes from, right? Petroleum. Butylene glycol, which is another ingredient that is being advertised actually as an organic alcohol, which I think is very deceiving and is used because propylene glycol has gotten such bad press in the cosmetic industry. And then mineral oil is the age-old, we find it in massage oils, we find it in a lot of cosmetic products and a lot of skincare products. So I am going to encourage our listeners to go through their ingredient statements and look for these three chemicals. And please tag us and tell us what you found. Tell us if you are ready to throw them out. And of course, Hemptress, we have a solution for you, and that is to eliminate 4, 5, 6 products in your skincare routine and use one holistic product that creates healthy skin. But before we go there, I wanted to talk about what happens when you apply these chemicals to your skin. What does it do to your body? And I know sometimes you talk about how these chemicals are a dead molecule, and how does that interact with your biology?
So the thing to remember is about it has to do with our immune system. And the immune system is not here just to fight against bugs and germs that we get exposed to. Our immune system is actually is a very discerning system. Anything that we get exposed to, our immune system is actually looking at it, literally under a microscope. It's looking at what these molecules are, whether they are friends or whether they are enemies. And if it considers it to be an enemy, then it'll mount an inflammatory reaction. And what happens with these molecules, these petrochemicals, is that they are foreign to our body. They're not biological molecules. And so our immune system doesn't know what to do. And out of an abundance of caution, because it does not know what these chemicals are, it assumes that they are harmful to us, which, by the way, they are. And our immune system will mount an immune reaction, which is basically inflammation. This can be one of the ways that we end up in a chronic inflammatory state is with exposure to these petrochemicals. The second problem is that these petrochemicals, they're all dissolved in crude oil, which means that they are fat soluble. And every cell membrane in our body is actually covered by a 2-layer of fat molecule. Why? Because that's how it maintains the integrity of things that are within the cell. So the real separation between intracellular and extracellular happens because of this lipid bilayer that separates the two. But then when these fat-soluble molecules come in, they're able to dissolve through that lipid bilayer and enter into our cells. So it's very difficult to get rid of them once they enter our body. And as long as they're inside our bodies, they tend to cause all kinds of health issues, ranging from, as we discussed, chronic inflammation, hormonal disruption, weight gain, obesity,
and degradation of our DNA and telomeres.
And degradation of our DNA and telomeres. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
So we talked about this a bit in another episode, but this concept of inflammaging. So if we're creating an inflammatory immune response with the products that we put on our face, it's counterintuitive and it's working in the other direction. So say you take an eye cream that's meant for wrinkles, you're actually stimulating an immune response, which is having a chronic inflammatory response for your body, which is actually aging your skin, which is degrading your DNA.
Aging your body. Aging your
the body.
Skin, your body, everything.
It's the age-old create a disease and then create the solution. So we're creating aging and then we're selling the solution, and it's all in one product.
Yes. And really the solution that is being sold, majority of the products that are supposedly helping us with the aging process are in fact contributing to the aging again.
Exactly.
So it's a vicious cycle. And when we enter into this chronic inflammatory state, it's important to remember that our immune system becomes so tired that it cannot do its job. What is its job? It's to protect us.
Yes.
So then our ability to fend off viral and bacterial and fungal infections goes down. The other important function of the immune system is to actually look for and eliminate cancers in the budding state.
Right.
That function also gets interfered with, which is a reason why propylene glycol and many of these ingredients, we do see that they are they're considered carcinogens.
Yes.
Meaning cancer causing. And then, of course, individual molecules, if you could do a deep dive and look at some of these individual molecules, one of them may be toxic to the liver, something else may be toxic to the kidneys, something else may be toxic to the brain, and so on and so forth. But liver and kidneys really do end up taking the brunt of the damage because these two organs are our primary excretory organs. And the third one is the skin, and the fourth one is the intestines. So, and it's no wonder. I mean, a few years ago, the president of American Gastroenterology was interviewed on NPR, and it was really, I don't know what, I felt very, very annoyed when I heard this interview because this president of American Gastroenterology was asked as to why colon cancer was happening in younger and younger ages. Typically, colon cancer, when I was in med school and growing up, it was a disease that happened in the 70s and 80s. But now, American Colon Cancer Association recommends screening for colon cancer in your 30s and in your 40s. When did this happen? Why is this happening? And the president of this organization basically said, we don't know, but this is one way to prevent. No, we don't prevent any cancer with a screening tool. All that you're doing is identifying it at a relatively early stage, and then we can intervene. Prevention can only happen when we address the root causes, which is, in this case, we are talking about toxicity and the burden these toxins cause to our immune system and to our whole body. So,
thank you for that insight. And as you can see, the snowball effect that it has to put chemicals on your skin that's stressing out an immune system that is already overburdened we really want to encourage people to look at their health holistically. And a part of your holistic health is your skin.
Yes.
So it might seem like, what's the big deal? And it's just this. And I've heard a lot, which is very sad to me. Everything causes cancer. So what are we really doing trying to prevent it? And it's like, oh my gosh, how did we get here that when you tell someone something's a carcinogen, they almost don't even care, right? So it's like, how do we care about ourselves? How do we usher in the self-love and the ability to connect what we put on our skin to what's going on with our health?
You said it. It is with self-love, because I've heard that statement too, whether it comes to, all food is poisoned. Or the same thing, and everything causes cancer, and everything causes dementia, everything causes depression. Yeah, but we have to, again, nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves, and we do that with knowledge. We do that with empowerment, and we do that with self-love. It's with the choices that we make.
Definitely. And I want to start the movement where we are not neutralizing and desensitizing ourselves to carcinogens, where we think, oh my God, it's everywhere. So what do we do? And that's why I really don't want people to feel overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And I want the listeners to feel really empowered in their ability to affect their own health. And in that way, especially when we talk about petrochemicals, I would love it if listeners looked at their cosmetic products, their personal care products. Men who are listening, please send this to your other guy friends, and let's get men involved in the conversation too.
Yes.
Look at your shampoo, look at your deodorant, look at your soap, look at what you're using in your kitchen, and let's try to eliminate these chemicals.
Yeah.
And then one other thing, I think you came up with a really great analogy, and I wanted you to talk about how the oil spill really relates to the petrochemicals in your body.
I think that, let me explain that example that we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. So, we've all seen images of birds being drenched in the oil spills, and everybody understands instinctively, intuitively, that that bird is going to suffer health consequences from having doused in crude oil.
Right.
Guess what? When we consume petrochemicals, our cells are being doused in the same crude oil byproducts. There is no difference there. So I would encourage our listeners to really bring this analogy home to yourself, home to you. Understand that it's the same thing that is happening. And I can tell you that with knowledge, slowly but surely, you will be able to make better choices for yourself. This is not the time to give up. You put your hands up and
give your power away.
Yeah,
it's giving your power and saying, well, whatever happens, happens, because the environment is poison.
Yes.
So of course, yes, there's the reality that we have to deal with, but what can we do every single day to reduce our toxin load? And for us, one solution that we're trying to help our community with is a really awesome product like Hemptress that's effective and that's actually reversing the damage done by the petrochemicals by repairing your DNA and your telomeres, and then also supercharging your skin with nutrients and allowing this beautiful environment for healing. So please look at your cosmetic products. We have an awesome upgrade for you. If you guys want to comment anything about this topic, if you want to suggest another topic or tag a friend, we're going to choose one person from the comments and we're going to send you a free bottle of Hemptress. So I hope you guys can start to try it. If you love it, leave us a comment, share it with a friend.
And come join this movement.
Yes, join us.
Make this, join us. Just like, and I can tell you, I've been in this field for 10 years now. Before that, I had no idea. I am that mom that used Vaseline for my kids' eczema. Now, until I figured how to heal her eczema, I don't use Vaseline or any of those products anymore.
Also known as petroleum jelly. So we were so desensitized that we thought petroleum jelly, like, in Europe, they call gas stations petro stations, as in petroleum stations, and then we're like, oh, let's rub this on our babies. And this is perfectly safe because they, synthesized it into something. Well, we just broke down how they actually make it and the effect that it has on your immune system, on your health and your body. So now that we know, knowledge is power. And join us, please. Like, tell one girlfriend, tell your boyfriend, tell your dinner guests, if you feel like it's the right time to introduce the topic, and we can all join together to create a healthier community. And
that's exactly what we are doing. 10 years ago, there was this, I was probably one of the few people raising an alarm and, worrying about it for my own health, for the health of my family. But today there's a lot more awareness, and industry also has responded to this. And like you, you. I mean, you have created a product that I am very proud of, and I not only use it, but also give it to my children and my husband to use it as well.
Well, thank you. And one thing we really want to do with Hemptress, which is like, where is the world with Hemptress in it? And what we really want to do is inspire a better industry, to raise the bar and to encourage others to look through their ingredients and formulate cleaner products that are conducive for health. So we really hope to elevate the industry. We can't do it alone. Of course, we can do our skincare, and we hope to have tons of different products in the future, but we need everyone to jump on board, and let's do better, and let's provide our consumers with better options. Vote with your health. Like you said, unfortunately, we're in a day and age where the government's not looking out for you. The big industries aren't looking out for you. Profit and power are at the center of everything. So we have to look out for each other. And our communities are the people in our lives that we can look out for, our families, our doctors, our sisters, our brother-in-laws. These are the people that, need each other's support in these times. And I think it's beautiful to be able to provide solutions for your family, for your friends, and for your community. And we hope that we can help spread this information. We can provide products that are going to help. And eventually, hopefully, the world will rise with us. So please join us in this movement.
Come join us.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We encourage you to leave a comment. What was your favorite part? Or if you want us to cover a topic in the future, what is that? And we are going to pick one comment, and we are going to send you a free bottle of Hemptress. So comment below, tag your friends, and we are going to pick one person to send a free bottle of Hemptress to. Thanks for tuning in.